The new indie comedy Band on the Run is now available to rent or own. But should your band run to go see it? Let's talk about that. Band on the Run is a new independent film directed by Jeff Hupp, Brian Cusack, and Merritt Fritchie, collectively known as The Powers That Be, which, if I can say myself, is a pretty badass name. Let me just get this out of the way real quick. Full disclosure before I go any further. One of the stars of this movie, Dylan Randazzo, is a very good friend of mine and my podcast co-host on Frame Rec over on the Dill Pickle Movie Network, which is his YouTube channel. That being said, I'm going to remain as objective as possible, but if you're wondering, do keep that in mind that this there may be a little bit more of subjectivity from me just because someone I care about very, very much is in this film. But that being said, let's move. Let's go on to the things that I really liked about this movie. And to start off, the ensemble. Larry Bagby, who we know from a lot of things. If you don't know that name, I'm certain you've seen things he's been in. He was in Hocus Pocus. He was in a movie called Saints and Soldiers. He was in a recent Western from Kevin Costner called Horizon Chapter 1. But for me, he will always be forever be Larry Blaisdell from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, my absolute favorite show of all time. And it's funny, I'm not sure why they went with, if there was a reason they went with Larry Bagby in this role, other than he was the right he was the right actor for this role, which he absolutely was. I'll get into that in a moment. But there's a little part of me, the Buffy fan in me, that says, well, their collective, their collective name is the Powers That Be, which is an entity in the TV series Angel, which is a spinoff of Buffy, which Larry Bagby was on. There's that part of me that just really wants that to be true so much that I don't even really want to know if it's not true. But that's just a fun little history I created in my own brain. It is what it is. But moving on from that, Larry Bagby is really incredible in this movie. There's an opportunity, especially I was a little worried about it when I saw the trailer, for him to be this one note gruff kind of bad father character, but he actually has a lot of layers of this, which shouldn't surprise me because I think he's a really good actor in general. But in this, he does have that. He has this gruff father thing. He's got the crass jokes. He's got the, in my day, we did this, that kind of stuff. That's all present in the film. But he's also got this really sweet side. A big chunk of this movie is the relationship between him and his son, played by Matt Pearl. Matt Pearl plays the drummer in the band that we are following throughout this. Just a quick synopsis: the band, the titular band that is on the run, they got a late acceptance to South by Southwest in 1999. This takes place on the Detroit rock scene in 1999, right, really at the height of the rock boom in that area. Well, I say height, late 90s. There was a really big garage rock boom, which produced the White Stripes, and unfortunately not a whole lot else, but it was a really kind of important time in music that this was happening. But Matt Pearl plays his son. He's the drummer of this band, and right before they leave, Larry Bagby plays Thomas. Thomas's wife leaves, and Thomas is in a wheelchair and he's very ill, and so they don't have time really to do much with him, so they just have to take him with them to Austin to go to South by Southwest. And what ensues from there is some pretty funny uh, mismatch father son. Son being embarrassed by the things that his father's doing, but also a lot of really great like father son moments that we've seen. We've seen this type of relationship. We've seen this dynamic a thousand times, but there's something about a road trip movie, which I love road trip movies, but there's something about a road trip movie that helps you zero in on the relationships that are happening within this, however they're traveling within this group of people who are basically, you're just following as they are traveling through life. But Larry Bagby isn't the only well-cast character. I think Matt Pearl is an excellent kind of lead for this movie, focus character for this band, and I think he's really funny. I think he's got this. He plays this kind of geeky, cool, neurotic, but passionate character that I think, for me at least, felt very relatable and was really engaging. Daniel Blair plays the lead singer and guitarist for this band, and he's kind of he's the artist in this band, and I think he has a lot of really great moments, a lot of really fun and funny moments that go with it. But the comedic relief, the fool for this band and for this ensemble is my buddy Dylan Randazzo, who say what you will about my opinion on this, but I thought he was great. He made me laugh. I thought his timing was really, really good. You always saw him in the background making, funny faces and just reacting to what was going on, because that was a lot of what he was doing, was reacting to what was going on. But I thought he played that excellently, perfectly. I'm excited to see what he does in the future outside of our podcast and the episodes shows that he's been on this channel as well. I'm excited to see where his career goes. Right now, he's got some really great opportunities that he's taking. So he's taking a little time away from our podcast, but he absolutely deserves it, because that dude works really hard and and is just a really great performer. So I'm excited for what's to come with him, but it's not just him. Matt Pearl and Daniel Blair. I'm excited to see what comes of those two as well. It's particularly Matt Pearl. Matt Pearl feels like someone that we will see more of in the future. There's a hit out there for Matt Pearl that I think we can all expect to come, and I would think it's sooner rather than later, because he's very good. The last person in this ensemble that I really want to mention is Landon Tavernier. I'm not sure exactly if I'm saying that correctly. He plays JJ, the rival frontman for this band, and he plays such a very cool, interesting villain in this movie, because number one, he's got this fun little quirk where he doesn't really curse, but he works himself up to a curse a lot. So like he's always throwing out these grandma type curses, which aren't really curses at all, which makes for a whole lot of fun. I think he's very good as well. I think him and Matt Pearl and Dylan Randazzo, Daniel Blair, all four of those are people we can look forward to seeing more of in the future, and I think we are going to see more of those boys in the future, because they were all very good. I thought that they all handed in really solid, fun performances. So Band on the Run was made in, I believe, 8 days. It was filmed in 8 days with very, very low budget. This was true independent filmmaking, which is very cool today in 2025, because it's not something that gets a lot of press these days. It's not something that we that 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 we get like we did back in the 90s when this movie was set. And the thing that I really love about it is it feels like 90s era indie film. And I think that was one of the things I liked most about it, is that as I'm watching it, it felt nostalgic for a time in film, not just a time in, because it's set in the late 90s. But I wasn't necessarily, it wasn't the nostalgia for that time that they were specifically living in, like because of the things they were doing. It was a nostalgia for the type of filmmaking that they were doing, that these filmmakers were doing, because it felt like it was pulled right out of an art house in the late 90s, which absolutely was one of my favorite things about it. This film also feels very familiar, and I think part of it is the aesthetic of the 90s indie film thing. But there's also, I think there's also something very true about the way that the characters interact and the things that the characters care about, and the way they talk to each other, that made it feel extremely familiar to me. And part of it is that we've seen this type of movie before. We've seen the road trip movie. We've seen the rock and roll comedy drama movie before. We've seen all of that, but that doesn't take away from it for me. I think that that only serves to give it a leg up when I'm watching it, because it immediately just feels familiar to me. And I think that has a lot to do with my experience, but I think a lot of people out there who will watch it will also feel similarly. The last thing I really want to talk about with the positive is how much heart this movie has. It's dripping with heart. It feels very sincere, and it knows what it's doing. They could easily pull back the reins a little bit on it and not go to certain places, but and that's not to say that it feels schmaltzy, or it feels like it's trying to manipulate you or anything like that, because it's not that kind of movie. But it definitely is extremely sincere, and you can feel that as you watch this movie, because I think this subject was very, very important to these filmmakers, and you can feel that as well. I think that they made a very personal and real film with this simple little indie movie with a premise that we've seen before. I think that for that, it makes it a success in my book. I really liked this movie, and I don't think it's just because I like Dylan Randazzo and because he's my friend. I mean, I've been looking forward to this for a while. I have gone back and forth on before watching it, like, oh God, what if it's bad? What if I don't like it? And so it's kind of primed to kind of not be sure where I was going to go, and to have this like uncertainty. But I ended up really enjoying it. I had a really good time with this movie, and that's not to say that I didn't have some issues with it. I think that there are some places where it could have improved and where it could have been better. I think it's a bit underwritten. I think it's a bit uneven, but it's got, again, with the heart, it's got so much heart that it's hard for me to really temper my enjoyment of this film. I could see maybe that being an issue for some people, and yeah, I think that that is a valid criticism of this film. But I think that it's got enough going for it, that nostalgia, that heart, plus a friend that I really love in it, that really put it over the top into a movie that I really, really enjoyed. And I think that most of this movie's shortcomings probably could have been fixed with a bigger budget and a longer shooting schedule. But I don't think that the issues with it are so glaring that really that anything really needs to change with it. That's my review of Band on the Run. I recommend people go check it out on Amazon, on Apple TV, wherever you can rent and buy movies. There's also a physical release right now that you can go on Amazon, go wherever it's sold, and purchase a copy. I think that there's a lot of people who are going to really enjoy this movie. But talk to me in the comments. Have you seen Band on the Run? How did you feel about it? Tell me. I mean, you can be honest with me. How did you feel about my boy Dylan Randazzo? I only want positive reviews on that one because he means a lot to me. But yeah, talk to me in the comments. How did you feel? Bye.